take questions.
Well, certainly very, very proud of this team, and appreciate the efforts to bounce back and be able to win a rivalry game. That's a big deal. And I thought certainly a number of guys and a number of units made it possible, made it happen, and appreciate that a ton. And looking forward to one more game with this team. But it's wins and wins on the road don't just happen. A lot of guys, give them credit, and they're fun to be around today.
Coach, how satisfying was it to see your team run the ball the way they did today after the struggles you guys have had in that area?
Yeah, it was good. Especially I thought first half, guys did a nice job, and I thought, credit to the O-line. Jumped in there. Bo moved from right tackle to right guard, and I thought that fullbacks, tight ends were good, and they were on point and kind of rose to the challenge. And I thought Dare and Ty ran extremely well, so that was big.
Paul, does Joel have any decision on that opening pick six? I mean, is he just automatically going to throw that ball no matter what the defense does or anything?
No, that was a run with that pass option if there's a certain look, and you know what? To his credit, I mean, right when he knew right when you go to him, that was dumb and I shouldn't have thrown it, and that you appreciate the way he owns it, and he was. I thought that, early in the third downs we were pretty good, and that's a different game than what we've had to play lately, and I appreciated that, he kind of came back, and it was big, and I'd like to see us be more consistent offensively in the second half, and I think maybe I got a little bit too conservative, but to answer your question, Tom, there's an option to it, and we didn't need to go with it.
What did you think of that response to that play? I mean, your team came right
that
back.
That was, I thought, the key. The way we came back and did respond, and I think that is part of who we are right now. And we do stuff to put ourselves behind the 8 ball, but they keep playing and they don't flinch. And I appreciate Joe owning it and knowing, and guys don't get rattled. I thought that was big. The response was huge, I thought.
How long did that number one line that you started today practice all week together, and what did you see out of that group during practice?
Well, yes, made the decision right away. Actually, Sunday. Yeah, preparation for the game.
All right. You want to be specific?
I forgot to tell you guys on Monday that. My fault. But we made that, and then it is. Here's Bo, and he's just starting to get comfortable at the tackle spot, and say we're going to move you to guard, and for Jacob to come in and. It was good, and I think the guys, we thought for us to have a chance this week, we needed to try to establish or get the running game going, and that was big.
Paul, kind of the last phase of your defense that you were looking for was turnovers. You had 5 today.
It was big, and the other thing I thought that was, I give credit, we thought that early if we could hold up in our base, which, I give Minnesota a ton of respect for them and what they're doing, and offensively, knew that they were going to, or thought that they were going to take some shots down the field. I thought we held up. I thought a number of times they tried to attack, the one-on-ones and some of the double moves, and guys made plays on that. And they kept it where it wasn't hurt, and I thought that was big for us. And I know. We only got 1 sack, but I felt like there was times where we got good pressure on them, and I think the story of the game was, and it was good to be on this end of it, was the turnover, the takeaways. We got the takeaways, and I thought, with the good field position, we took advantage of it and got some points out of it, and that's when you felt like you're playing off each other, and that was what was fun. The defense makes a play like that to get the ball back, and offense was able to capitalize and turn it into points. That's big. I thought, early our coverage units kind of struggled. Turner's a good player, but I thought did a nice job with Justin, and a lot of guys contributed. That's what makes this one feel good.
You mentioned a lot of guys. T.J. Watt appears to have been coming on. Was that his best game today, at least from your eyes, from the sideline?
He showed up and you noticed him, and I don't even know how many snaps TJ got, but I think that he is starting to feel comfortable, you know, and using him in different packages, so it's not just to back up, you know, one of the outside backers. But yeah, TJ's seems like he's been showing up each game, and I know he's getting more comfortable, and it's fun to see the growth and development of a player, and I think, you know, we've seen that. And at times the growth is, you go through growing pains, and it's not always easy, but I thought today a lot of guys put it together, and it feels pretty good.
Paul, did Corey stay home because of suspension or injury?
No, I talked to Corey on Wednesday and kind of visited with him and decided he wasn't going to make the trip.
Was he suspended for the game?
He just didn't want to go play here.
Was that an easy call in your mind or a difficult call to keep him home?
It was you know, it was the right thing to do and you know, didn't make the trip, and the guys stepped up and like they have all year, right? I mean, it's been that part's been good.
Do you hope that he sees sitting home and sees what his guys did as a potential lesson?
I think Corey cares about this team and appreciates and you know what Dari did in Taiwan, and I think even bigger than that, you know what the group did. I think he'll be proud of them, and you know, that's the one thing about this team is they do care about each other, and I think it shows in the way they play and in the way they respond to different situations, adversity, whatever that is, and so he's no different than the rest of the group that way.
I think Joel and Alex hooked up for 5 third-down conversions today. Can you talk about the connection they have and their ability to kind of, obviously you didn't have a whole lot going in the passing end today because you were running the ball so well, but to be able to...
it was big, and I thought we missed on 3 other ones that, I don't want to say should have had, but very well could have had, and that's where we can get better. But, you know, Alex, you know, he keeps playing, and I thought Jazz, you know, didn't have anything. Jazz did some good stuff today, but it was big, and those third down conversions are huge. You know, we needed every one of them. We needed a few more, but I think, you know, they trust each other, and that part's fun to see.
I think you called runs on like 12 consecutive plays there for a stretch.
What's that?
I think you called runs on like 12 consecutive plays. What were you thinking there?
When they worked, I thought that was a good call, and if they didn't, like, you know what, you went to the well one too many times. But I thought it's been a while since we've been able to do that. I don't think really felt like that, and like I said, I thought could have helped them out more in the second half. But it was guys were, and there's a rhythm to it and a feel for it, and that you appreciate from the group. You know, they allowed us to do it, and that was big.
Are you surprised at all that another starting lineup, talking about the offensive line, performed as well as it did? I mean, for the first time together at this late stage of the season, you couldn't have expected that.
Well, we always say hope is not a method. We were hoping we'd have some success, but you know, I give Rudy credit and those guys. You know, they owned it. And the fun thing of when you're running the ball, it takes a lot of people. You know, I mean, there can be a storyline about the backs, and there can be a storyline about the O-line. It can be about, you know, tight ends and fullbacks. They always get left out, which isn't all bad because they don't get the blame either. But you know, I mean, it takes a lot of people. And you know, Joel did a couple. You know, we had a number of them that were checks, and he did a good job there. But it was, and that's the fun thing when you're running the ball is that it takes everyone, and that you certainly don't take that for granted.
Did Endicott suffer another injury today?
Yeah, he wasn't able to finish.
Okay.
John, back.
I thought he did a nice job on the kickoff cover.
Yeah.
Corey have a chance to play in the bowl game?
Yeah, I believe so. We'll see.
From a coaching standpoint, how do you get your guys to kind of hold on to the way they're feeling now and let that kind of sit with them for the next few weeks until the actual bowl game happens? I mean, how do you carry this momentum into that?
I think that it's, I don't think you try to you know, this group will, you know, they appreciate what they've all done to earn a right to play another game. And I think there's certainly momentum from a season, but you don't, each day is a new opportunity, each week's a new opportunity, the bowl game's another opportunity. And there was good things that we did today, and there's some things that we gotta get better. And so I don't think you try to make it, we gotta carry this part into that one. You know what, it's, I think you just maximize the days that we have together and get ourselves ready to take advantage of one more opportunity. And I appreciate that opportunity to play. I've really enjoyed getting to know this group, and it'll be sad to see there's some substance leaving. And yet I think there's also some growing going on. But you know, we get one more month and one more game opportunity, and very thankful for that.
What did you think of the targeting call in the ejection?
You know, I think that it's, you know, everyone that plays the game, every coach, every player, every official, you know, we want to, you know, player safety is a real thing. And yet I think that it's really hard. I think what we're asking the officials to do is really hard. You know, I thought it was easier when it was, you know, helmet to helmet, and you understood that. And then, you know, we all I don't think there was any intention, you know, by our player to hurt someone. You know, there's no need to be blocking behind the ball carrier. You know, that was a heck of a pick and run, but it's, you know, I think it's just harder and harder for these guys to officiate it. And because there's a lot of, at some point there's always the gray. And I don't know. And you know, what it looks like at some plays, it's not on others. And that's where I think that it's hard on the officials.
Anything else for Coach?
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Coach.